Welcome to my channel USA Old Coins. If you've ever wondered if those old coins you have lying around could be worth a fortune, you're in the right place. In today's video, we're diving into some of the rarest US coins, revealing their jaw-dropping values that will leave you amazed. Stick with us till the end, you won't want to miss what these hidden treasures could be worth. Let's get started. Top 1. The story of the United States Washington quarter 1776 to 1976 begins with one of the most celebrated events in American history, the bicentennial of the nation. This coin was not just money for transactions, it was a miniature piece of art created to commemorate 200 years of American independence. Even today, holding one in your hand feels like holding a time capsule from a proud and historic year. In 1976, the United States Mint released a special design for the Washington quarter. Instead of the familiar eagle on the reverse, the coin featured a colonial drummer and a victory torch surrounded by 13 stars. This design was the winning entry by Jack L. Ahr, chosen to symbolize the fighting spirit and unity of the original 13 colonies during the Revolutionary War. The obverse side of the coin still bore the portrait of George Washington by John Flanagan, but the dates were changed to read 1776 to 1976. This dual date was a reminder of the long journey the country had taken from its birth to the celebration of its bicentennial. For coin collectors and history lovers alike, this date pairing made the coin immediately stand out. These bicentennial quarters were struck in both copper-nickel-clad and 40% silver compositions, the latter being sold specially for collectors. The silver version was never intended for everyday change, making it more desirable and harder to find in pristine condition. Even the clad version, when perfectly preserved, can hold impressive value. The sheer number of coins minted in 1976 means that most examples are common and can still be found in circulation. However, what sets certain quarters apart is their condition, metal content, and minting errors. Flawless proof strikes, coins with rare errors, and those with deep cameo finishes are especially treasured by numismatists. One of the most attractive features of the 1776 to 1976 quarter is its patriotic imagery. The drummer boy on the reverse has become an icon in American coinage, instantly recognizable even to casual collectors. This simple yet powerful design captures the spirit of the Revolution in a way that words alone cannot. Over the decades, these bicentennial quarters have been tucked away in drawers, boxes, and collections across the country. Many families saved them as keepsakes from the year of celebration, never realizing that certain examples could become highly valuable over time. A significant factor that affects the coin's value is its grade. Coins graded by professional services as MS67 or higher are incredibly rare and command high prices. Even slight wear can greatly reduce a coin's worth, which is why untouched, uncirculated examples are so prized. Then there are the error coins. Striking errors, double dies, off-center strikes, and planchet mistakes can transform an ordinary quarter into a rare collectible worth thousands. Some of the most valuable bicentennial quarters are those with such minting flaws. Collectors also seek out special proof and silver sets sold directly by the mint in 1976. These coins often feature sharper details, mirror-like backgrounds, and frosted designs that make them stand out from circulation strikes. The limited availability of these sets contributes to their higher value. Another fascinating aspect is the historical context of the coin's release. The year 1976 saw nationwide celebrations, parades, and events marking America's 200th birthday. Having a commemorative coin in your pocket was a small but meaningful way for everyday Americans to be part of the festivities. While millions were produced, few have survived in pristine, untouched condition. Time, handling, and circulation have worn down most examples, leaving only a small fraction that retain their original luster and sharp detail. The appeal of the bicentennial quarter is not just monetary. It represents a pivotal moment in American history and evokes feelings of pride, unity, and nostalgia. Collectors often say that the story behind a coin can be just as valuable as the coin itself. Those who own a high-grade or rare variant of the 1776 to 1976 quarter often treasure it not only for its value but also for its symbolism. It serves as a reminder of the sacrifices made for independence and the journey of a nation over 2 centuries. When it comes to investment potential, rare bicentennial quarters have steadily increased in value over the years. This trend is fueled by growing collector interest and the shrinking availability of top-condition coins. For many, the hunt for a perfect 1776 to 1976 quarter begins at coin shows, antique shops, and online auctions. Finding one that meets the highest quality standards is like striking gold in the world of numismatics. In addition to physical condition, provenance can play a role in a coin's worth. Coins from notable collections or with documented historical significance can fetch higher prices than their equally graded counterparts. Also worth noting that some bicentennial quarters were struck at the San Francisco Mint in 40% silver for collector sets. These silver coins, especially in perfect condition, can be worth substantially more than their clad relatives. The market for rare coins is unpredictable at times, but the demand for bicentennial quarters has remained consistently strong. This steady interest ensures that top examples continue to command impressive premiums. Collectors often store these coins in protective holders or display cases to preserve their value. Proper storage is crucial to prevent tarnish, scratches, and other forms of damage that could reduce their grade. Some enthusiasts even focus their entire collection on U.S. commemorative coins, with the bicentennial quarter being a highlight piece. Its historical significance and distinctive design make it a must-have for such collections. The design itself, with its colonial imagery and patriotic symbolism, continues to resonate with Americans decades after its release. It's a timeless tribute to the nation's founding. For new collectors, the 1776 to 1976 quarter can be an excellent starting point. It's a coin that is still affordable in lower grades but offers significant value potential in high grades. Auction houses have reported record-breaking sales for exceptional bicentennial quarters. These standout coins often come from carefully preserved mint sets or private collections where they have been kept safe for decades. What makes these coins even more intriguing is that anyone could have had one in their pocket back in 1976. This accessibility, paired with the potential for rarity, adds to their charm. Even now, you might find one in your change, though the chances of it being a valuable variety are slim. Still, the possibility keeps collectors searching. Some rare specimens have deep, frosted designs contrasting against mirror-like fields, a finish known as deep cameo. These are especially sought after by serious numismatists. The legacy of the 1776 to 1976 Washington quarter dollar is secure. It's more than just a commemorative issue, it's a coin that connects generations through shared history and patriotic pride. Finding a rare and valuable example is a rewarding experience for any collector. It's the perfect blend of history, artistry, and potential profit, and in some extraordinary cases, a perfect, rare, and error-free United States Washington quarter 1776 to 1976 dollar can be worth an astonishing $150,000. Top 2. The year 1966 was a remarkable period in American coinage history. The United States Mint was still adjusting to a major change, the removal of silver from circulating dimes and quarters. This change had begun in 1965, and by 1966, the Washington quarter was entirely struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition, marking the end of an era for silver coins in everyday use. The Washington quarter design of 1966 carried the same classic portrait of George Washington on the obverse, created by sculptor John Flanagan in 1932. This image, strong and dignified, had already become a symbol of trust and tradition for American currency. Yet, the coin's composition and mintage conditions set it apart from earlier issues. One unusual fact about the 1966 Washington quarter is that there are no mint marks for this year. During this period, from 1965 to 1967, the Mint removed mint marks to discourage coin hoarding. Collectors and the general public had been setting aside coins during the transition away from silver, and the Mint wanted to keep coins in circulation. These quarters were struck at all three major mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, but none bear a distinguishing mint mark. As a result, identifying where a particular coin was made is nearly impossible without specialized testing, adding a layer of mystery to the 1966 issue. the coin's reverse continued to feature the heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows, and an olive branch. This traditional image represented both the strength and the peaceful intentions of the United States. It was a design that had endured for decades and still appealed to collectors. In 1966, the United States was facing a nationwide coin shortage, and the mint worked tirelessly to produce enough quarters to meet demand. This means a large number were struck, but most were intended for heavy circulation, making high-grade surviving examples surprisingly scarce. What truly excites collectors about the 1966 quarter are not the common worn pieces, but the rare ones preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition. Finding one with a sharp strike, full luster, and no signs of wear is a challenge, and such coins can be worth significant sums. The special mint sets issued in 1966 are particularly interesting. Instead of the traditional proof sets, the mint produced these sets to offer collectors high-quality coins without proof polishing. Some quarters from these sets display exceptionally strong strikes and attractive surfaces. Among the most valuable 1966 quarters are those with striking errors. Off-center strikes, double dies, and other minting mishaps can dramatically increase a coin's value. These errors transform an ordinary quarter into a rare and highly sought-after collectible. One known variety from this year is the full drumline's reverse, where the details on the eagle's tail feathers and the olive leaves are sharply defined. Such detail often signals a superior strike and is highly desirable among grading enthusiasts. Another factor influencing the value of the 1966 Washington quarter is its grade on the Sheldon scale. Coins graded MS-67 or higher are exceptionally rare. Even a single point higher on the grading scale can mean a difference of thousands of dollars in value. Over the years, these high-grade coins have become harder to find. Many were lost to circulation, damaged, or improperly stored. This rarity has caused their value to rise steadily, especially among dedicated quarter collectors. The history behind this coin is tied to America's broader economic and cultural changes of the 1960s. The removal of silver marked a shift toward modern coinage materials, and the 1966 quarter embodies this transitional period. For many collectors, the charm of the 1966 quarter lies in its combination of old design and new metal. It bridges the gap between the traditional silver quarters and the modern clad issues we use today. At coin shows and auctions, a well-preserved 1966 quarter can attract considerable attention. Collectors appreciate the year's historical significance, and dealers know the rarity of top-grade examples. The absence of a mint mark can also be intriguing. It's one of the few times in U.S. coinage history when identifying a coin's origin was intentionally made impossible for the public. When examining a 1966 quarter, experts look for full design details, smooth and blemish-free surfaces, and original mint luster. These traits indicate a coin that has been carefully preserved since it left the mint. The story of the 1966 quarter is also about timing. Coins from transitional eras often carry extra significance because they capture a moment of change in the nation's currency history. Collectors who specialize in Washington quarters see 1966 as an important year to include in their sets. Its historical context and potential for rarity make it a standout among modern quarters. Some rare examples come from unopened original rolls or special mint set packaging. These coins often show the best strikes and most attractive finishes. The long-term value of the 1966 quarter has been supported by steady collector interest. While most circulated examples are worth face value, pristine or error coins can be worth astonishing amounts. In the numismatic world, patience often pays off. Those who have held on to their finest 1966 quarters have seen their investment grow over the years. The thrill of discovering a rare 1966 quarter, whether from pocket change or an old collection, keeps the excitement alive for coin hunters everywhere. Even today, you might spot one in circulation, but the odds of it being a high-grade or error example are slim. That rarity is what makes finding one so rewarding. The legacy of the 1966 Washington quarter is one of transition, endurance, and hidden potential. It remains a fascinating piece of U.S. coinage history, from its design to its composition, from its historical backdrop to its scarcity in top condition. This coin captures the spirit of a changing America. In the end, A truly exceptional and rare 1966 United States Washington quarter dollar, preserved in pristine condition with remarkable detail, can be valued at an incredible $154,000. Top 3. The 1974 Washington quarter might look like any ordinary coin at first glance, but within the world of numismatics, some examples from this year have proven to be extraordinary treasures. These are coins with a story to tell, coins that carry not only history but also a surprising potential for incredible value. Why 1974? The Washington quarter had been in circulation for more than 4 decades, maintaining its classic design by John Flanagan. On the obverse, the strong and noble profile of George Washington continued to represent the ideals of leadership and stability. The reverse still showcased the heraldic eagle with wings spread wide, clutching arrows and an olive branch as symbols of both defense and peace. This was the last full year before one of the most famous modern quarters. The 1776 to 1976 bicentennial issue took over with its special drummer boy design. That makes the 1974 quarter something of a final chapter in the uninterrupted Eagle Reverse series before the country celebrated its 200th birthday through its coinage, struck at 3 mints, Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with a D mint mark, and San Francisco with an S mint mark for proof coins. This year's quarters were made from copper-nickel-clad composition. Silver had been removed from circulating quarters since 1965, so these were modern-clad coins through and through. Although hundreds of millions were minted, the rarity in the 1974 quarter lies in exceptional preservation and unusual mint errors. Circulation quickly wore down most coins, making pristine examples a challenge to locate today. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1974 Washington quarter is the way some coins were struck. Exceptional strikes, coins with sharp details on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers, are highly sought after by grading experts and collectors alike. Coins that remained untouched since they were minted, showing no scratches, nicks, or discoloration, can achieve extremely high grades on the Sheldon scale. An MS-67 or MS-68 example from 1974 is exceedingly rare and valuable. Adding to the intrigue are error coins from this year. Some 1974 quarters were struck off-center, while others have doubled die obverse or reverses, creating a ghost-like doubling of the design. Even rarer are transitional errors, coins accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets from previous years or on wrong metal blanks. The San Francisco Mint's proof quarters from 1974 also hold appeal. These coins, made for collectors, were given mirror-like finishes and frosted designs, and some deep cameo examples are simply stunning in appearance. High-grade proofs, especially those with no haze or spots, can bring premium prices. Historically, the 1974 quarter was part of an era when the United States was modernizing its coin production. The mint had embraced high-speed presses and improved quality control, yet some mistakes still slipped through, which is why error coins from this year are so intriguing. While common circulated pieces from 1974 are worth face value, collectors know that certain rare variants and top-grade examples are in a completely different league. It's this range, from pocket change to high-value rarity, that makes the coin so interesting. The excitement for this particular year is also fueled by the fact that it directly precedes the special bicentennial design. Collectors often seek to complete a set of quarters leading up to and including the 1976 issues, making a high-quality 1974 an important acquisition. Some of the finest known 1974 quarters are found in original bankrolls or mint sets that have been carefully preserved for decades. These untouched coins often exhibit brilliant luster and crisp design details. Auction houses occasionally feature exceptional 1974 quarters, and the bidding wars they inspire show just how passionate collectors can be. Top-graded coins can bring in staggering amounts, especially if they have unique characteristics. The coin's design also plays a role in its desirability. The Washington portrait is one of the most iconic images in U.S. coinage history, and its clean, balanced design appeals to both casual admirers and serious numismatists. And examining the reverse, collectors pay special attention to the eagle's feathers, the clarity of the arrows and olive branch, and the strike quality of the lettering. Fully struck examples are significantly more valuable than those with weak or worn details, Another area of focus is the coin's luster. A brilliant, unbroken sheen across the coin's surface is a sign of careful preservation, and it's a major factor in grading and value determination. Error collectors, on the other hand, look for quirks. Off-metal strikes, misaligned dies, broad strikes, and other unusual minting flaws make these coins highly collectible because they are one-of-a-kind pieces of mint history. The fascination with the 1974 quarter has only grown over time. As more coins have been lost, damaged, or degraded, the number of surviving top-condition examples has diminished, driving up their desirability. For collectors who specialize in Washington quarters, the 1974 issue is a must-have. It represents the end of a long-standing reverse design and bridges the gap between the traditional eagle quarters and the unique bicentennial type. Even for those who are not seasoned collectors, the idea that an ordinary-looking coin from 1974 could be worth a fortune is thrilling. It makes every quarter in your change worth a second look. Many coin enthusiasts have stories of finding valuable pieces in the most unexpected places: an old jar in a relative's attic, a forgotten roll in a drawer, or even mixed in with modern change. The dream of making such a discovery keeps people searching. The journey from minting to rarity is a fascinating one. A coin that once passed from hand to hand in everyday transactions can, under the right circumstances, become a prized possession worth thousands, or even far more. The legacy of the 1974 Washington quarter continues to grow as collectors and historians alike appreciate its place in America's numismatic story. It's not just a coin, it's a snapshot of a moment in time, whether admired for its artistry, sought for its rarity, or treasured for its connection to the past. The 1974 quarter has a special place in the hearts of coin lovers everywhere. And in the most extraordinary cases, a flawless, rare, and highly graded United States Washington quarter dollar from 1974 can reach an astonishing value of $127,000. Top 4. The 1979 Washington quarter may seem like an ordinary piece of pocket change, but to coin collectors and enthusiasts, certain examples from this year have proven to be true hidden treasures. This coin carries with it a rich history, unexpected rarities, and the potential for astonishing value in the right condition. By the late 1970s, the Washington quarter had been in production for nearly 50 years, still bearing the classic design by John Flanagan. On the obverse, George Washington's profile stands proudly, a design that had become one of the most recognized in all of American coinage. The reverse of the coin still featured the heraldic eagle, wings spread wide, clutching arrows as a symbol of defense and an olive branch representing peace. This timeless image had been in use since 1932, and in 1979, it continued to symbolize stability in the nation's currency. The 1979 Washington quarter was produced in copper-nickel-clad composition, as silver had long been removed from circulating quarters after 1964. This modern clad construction gave the coin durability for circulation, but it also meant that collectors were more focused on condition and rarity rather than metal content. Quarters from 1979 were struck at 3 mints: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with a D, and San Francisco with an S4 proof coins. Each mint contributed to the year's production, but not all coins were created equal in terms of strike quality and preservation. While millions were made, the majority entered circulation quickly and were subjected to heavy wear. That's why finding a 1979 quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition is far more difficult than it may seem. Collectors prize coins that have survived the decades without losing their original luster, surface quality, or sharpness in detail. These top-condition coins are the ones that can command serious prices. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint are especially eye-catching. Made for collectors, these coins feature mirror-like backgrounds and frosted designs, and in deep cameo finish, they become even more desirable. The real thrill for collectors, however, lies in the rare minting errors of the 1979 quarter. Double die obverse or reverses, off-center strikes, and other unique flaws can transform a common coin into a rare prize worth a small fortune. Some coins from this year also show signs of die wear or unusual strike patterns, creating varieties that collectors actively seek out. These small differences can have a huge impact on the value, even without errors. High-grade examples graded MS 67 or higher are rare. The Sheldon grading scale makes a massive difference in price. 1 point in grade can mean thousands of dollars in difference. In addition to condition and errors, appeal plays a role in value. Coins with brilliant, original mint luster and no distracting marks stand out in the marketplace. The late 1970s were a period of high inflation and economic change in the United States, and the coinage from this time reflects the mint's push for efficiency. That makes the existence of high-quality strikes all the more interesting to collectors. Mint sets from 1979, if kept sealed and untouched, can sometimes yield quarters of exceptional quality. These coins have a better chance of being free from the contact marks found on circulated pieces. Auction records for 1979 quarters in exceptional grades have surprised even experienced dealers. The combination of rarity, quality, and collector demand has led to remarkable sales prices. While most circulated 1979 quarters are worth face value, it's the rare, pristine, and unusual examples that bring the excitement to the collecting community. The search for these special coins keeps collectors engaged. Whether it's a rare proof variety, an error coin, or a near-perfect circulation strike, the thrill of the hunt never fades. Coin shows, auctions, and online marketplaces are all places where these gems occasionally appear, often sparking bidding battles among determined buyers. The enduring appeal of the Washington quarter design adds to the value as well. Many collectors focus exclusively on this series, trying to acquire every date and mint mark in the best condition possible. The 1979 quarter fits perfectly into that pursuit, serving as a representative of late 20th century American coinage while offering the potential for significant value in top condition. Even casual coin enthusiasts find the idea fascinating that a coin minted in the millions could, under the right circumstances, be worth a staggering sum. Some of the rarest examples are those that have been tucked away in storage for decades, only to be rediscovered in flawless condition. Stories of such finds continue to inspire new collectors. The coin's enduring popularity comes from its blend of history, artistry, and hidden value. It stands as a reminder that treasures can be found in the most ordinary of places. The Washington Quarter series has spanned generations, and the 1979 issue remains an important chapter in that story. It connects the early days of the series to the modern era of coinage. For the dedicated collector, acquiring a top-grade 1979 quarter is not just about value, it's about completing a legacy. And for the lucky few who happen upon one of these rare, exceptional examples, the reward can be life-changing. In the most extraordinary cases, a flawless, rare, and highly graded United States Washington quarter dollar from 1979 can reach an incredible value of $113,000. Top 5. The 1983 Washington quarter might look like an everyday coin, but within the world of coin collecting, it holds a unique position and some surprising secrets. For the right example, this seemingly ordinary piece of change can command extraordinary value. By 1983, the Washington quarter had been in circulation for over 50 years, carrying the enduring design created by John Flanagan. On the obverse, the dignified portrait of George Washington still stood proudly, representing leadership, honor, and tradition. The reverse showcased the timeless heraldic eagle, wings spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows with an olive branch beneath, symbols of the nation's readiness to defend itself and its desire for peace. This design had become one of the most recognizable in American coinage. The 1983 Washington quarter was struck entirely from copper-nickel-clad composition. Silver had long been absent from circulating quarters since 1965, so these coins were built for durability and high-volume production. However, 1983 was a special year in U.S. coinage history because the U.S. Mint did not produce official mint sets for collectors. This decision had a lasting impact on the availability of high-quality coins from that year. Without mint sets to preserve pristine examples, the majority of 1983 quarters entered circulation immediately, meaning most were subjected to heavy wear, contact marks, and loss of luster. As a result, finding a 1983 quarter in truly uncirculated, gem condition is far more difficult than for many other modern dates. This scarcity of top-grade coins is a major factor in its potential value. Coins graded MS66, MS67, or higher are rare treasures from this year. The difference between an MS-65 and an MS-67 can mean thousands of dollars in value, and collectors are always on the hunt for the best survivors. The Philadelphia Mint struck coins without a mint mark, while the Denver Mint used the D mark. Both mints produced large numbers, but again, the challenge lies in finding them in perfect preservation. Proof coins for 1983 were only made at the San Francisco Mint, bearing the S Mint mark. These were sold to collectors and are easier to find in pristine condition, but high-quality business strikes from Philadelphia and Denver remain the true prize. Mint errors from 1983 add another exciting layer to the hunt. Off-center strikes, double dies, and other unusual mistakes from the minting process can dramatically increase a coin's worth. Some of the most valuable examples combine both rarity and condition: a perfectly struck coin with brilliant luster, no marks, and no wear, preserved exactly as it left the mint. Because so many 1983 quarters were heavily circulated, most people think of them as common. That's why discovering a rare, high-grade piece can be such a surprise for an unsuspecting owner. The lack of mint sets in 1983 also means that collectors can't simply buy a sealed government pack to get pristine examples. They must search harder, often looking through bankrolls, estate collections, or original bags. Auction houses have reported record sales for exceptional 1983 quarters, particularly those graded at the highest levels. Competition for these coins is fierce because so few exist. Collectors who focus on the Washington Quarter series often point to the 1983 issue as one of the more challenging modern dates to acquire in top grade. Its story makes it stand out from the crowd. When examining a 1983 quarter, experts pay close attention to the clarity of Washington's hair details, the sharpness of the eagle's feathers, and the overall luster of the surfaces. Weak strikes and dull finishes are common, making sharp, bright examples special. The search for a perfect 1983 quarter is a challenge that excites coin hunters. It's a year where the odds are against finding perfection, but that makes success all the more rewarding. For many collectors, the 1983 quarter is a reminder that even relatively recent coins can become valuable if the right conditions align. It's not always about age, it's about rarity and condition. The coin also represents a piece of early 1980s America, a time of economic recovery, cultural shifts, and a focus on modernizing production at the mint. Collectors know that holding a high-grade 1983 quarter is like holding a rare artifact from a unique point in U.S. coinage history. Some of these coins have been preserved entirely by accident, forgotten in drawers, tucked into jars, or saved in rolls without any intention of collecting. These hidden gems can be worth a fortune today. The Washington Quarter series remains one of the most popular in American numismatics, and the 1983 issue is an important challenge within that series. Even casual coin enthusiasts might be surprised to learn that a simple quarter from the 1980s could be worth thousands, or in some cases, far more than that. The combination of historical context, rarity in top grade, and collector demand ensures that the 1983 quarter will continue to be sought after prize for years to come, and in the most extraordinary cases, a flawless, rare, and highly graded United States Washington quarter dollar from 1983 can reach an incredible value of $93,000. Top 6. The 1983 Washington quarter may seem like just another common coin from the 1980s, but for collectors, it holds a hidden story of scarcity, condition rarity, and surprising value. It's a coin that proves not every treasure needs to be centuries old to be worth a fortune. Why 1983? The Washington quarter had been a staple of American coinage for over 50 years, still bearing John Flanagan's iconic portrait of George Washington on the obverse. This image had become one of the most enduring designs in U.S. currency, symbolizing strength and leadership. The reverse continued to feature the powerful heraldic eagle, its wings spread wide, clutching arrows as a sign of readiness to defend, and an olive branch as a gesture of peace. This timeless design linked the coin directly to decades of American history. Like all quarters minted after 1965, the 1983 issue was made from a copper-nickel-clad composition, rather than silver. This change, made nearly 2 decades earlier, had been intended to save costs and preserve the country's silver reserves. But the real twist in the 1983 quarter's story is not in its metal, but in its availability. This was one of the few years when the U.S. Mint did not produce official uncirculated mint sets for collectors. Without those sets, pristine examples became much harder to find. Most of the quarters struck that year went directly into circulation, passing through countless hands and picking up the wear, scratches, and dullness that come from everyday use. Because of this, finding a 1983 quarter in truly high-grade, mint-state condition with no signs of handling is far more challenging than for many other modern coins. Collectors often talk about the difficulty of this date. While millions were produced, almost all of them were spent and worn down, leaving very few untouched examples for future generations. For the serious numismatist, the challenge of finding an MS-66 or MS-67 graded 1983 quarter is part of the thrill. These coins stand out with sharp detail, brilliant luster, and flawless surfaces. Both the Philadelphia and Denver mints produced 1983 quarters, with Philadelphia coins bearing no mint mark and Denver coins marked with a D. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint, bearing the S, were sold to collectors, but it's the top-grade circulation strikes that hold the greatest intrigue. Adding to the excitement are the occasional error coins from 1983. Off-center strikes, die cracks, and double dies can transform an already rare coin into a unique and valuable prize. The market for high-grade 1983 quarters has remained strong for decades. Collectors understand just how difficult it is to find these coins in gem condition, and that drives up demand. Auction houses have seen exceptional 1983 quarters spark intense bidding wars. The combination of condition rarity and historical context makes them irresistible to dedicated quarter collectors. For those building a complete Washington quarter set, the 1983 issue represents a key challenge. It's not a coin you can easily pluck from circulation today and expect to be valuable. It needs to be exceptional. Even casual collectors have been surprised by the value of these coins. Some have found them tucked away in jars, rolls, or boxes, having been saved unintentionally since the year they were minted. Examining one of these coins under proper lighting can be revealing. The sharpness of Washington's hair, the clarity of the eagle's feathers, and the shine of the surfaces all help determine whether it's an ordinary example or a rare gem. The absence of mint sets in 1983 means that every high-grade coin in existence survived purely by chance. That makes each one a little piece of numismatic luck. Some of the most stunning examples have full, frosty luster and strike details so sharp that they appear almost three-dimensional. These qualities are rare and highly sought after. Proof coins from San Francisco are beautiful in their own right, with mirror-like fields and frosted designs, but they are not as elusive as business strikes in gem condition. The real prizes are those untouched Philadelphia and Denver coins that somehow escaped the wear and tear of daily commerce. Finding one feels like uncovering a secret hidden for decades. Coin hunters know that the thrill comes not only from the potential value but also from the story behind the coin. The 1983 quarter is a perfect example of how history and circumstance can create modern rarities. The Washington Quarter series is one of the most beloved in American coinage, and the 1983 issue plays an important role in that legacy. Its scarcity and high grade has made it a standout among its peers. Collectors today view the 1983 quarter as a reminder that value isn't just about age or metal content, it's about rarity, condition, and collector demand. Even in an era of mass production, certain coins manage to become modern treasures. The 1983 Washington quarter is living proof of that. Stories of finding these coins in exceptional condition continue to inspire new collectors to start searching through their change. The dream of discovering a rare gem keeps the hobby alive, and while most 1983 quarters are worth only 25 cents, there are extraordinary exceptions. In the most remarkable cases, a flawless, rare, and highly graded United States Washington quarter dollar from 1983 can be worth an incredible $91,000. Top 7. The year 2021 was a remarkable chapter in the history of United States coinage, especially for collectors who follow the Washington Quarter series. While millions of quarters were produced for circulation, certain versions of the 2021 Washington Quarter have become prized treasures in the numismatic world. This coin stands out not only for its relatively recent release but also for its connection to the last stages of a long and storied coin series. The Washington Quarter had been a staple of American currency since 1932, but each year brings its own subtle changes and collectible surprises. Why 2021? The U.S. Mint was completing the final issues in the America the Beautiful program, featuring designs that honored historic parks and sites. The Washington Quarter of this year carried both tradition and innovation, making it a fascinating study for collectors. On the obverse, George Washington's familiar profile remains, a timeless tribute to the nation's first president. The design, crisp and dignified, continues to reflect the values of liberty, history, and national pride. The reverse of the 2021 quarter featured the Tuskegee Airmen National Historic Site design, an homage to the legendary group of African-American pilots who served heroically during World War II. This was a striking and historically significant choice that gave the coin immediate collectible appeal, but what truly sets certain 2021 quarters apart is not just their design, it's their rarity in specific conditions or varieties. Special mint errors, low mintage runs for certain versions, and flawless mint state examples have driven intense collector interest. The U.S. Mint produced the 2021 quarters at 3 different facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. While billions rolled out for everyday commerce, a very small fraction emerged with features that would make them valuable to collectors. Some 2021 quarters struck for collectors were given special finishes, like proof or silver-proof versions, adding to their allure. These are visually stunning, with mirror-like fields and frosted details that make every line and curve pop. Beyond intentional special issues, unintentional mint errors also play a role in the value of certain coins. Off-center strikes, die cracks, and doubled dies are just some of the anomalies that can turn an ordinary quarter into a high-value collectible. In the case of the 2021 Washington quarter, certain examples with these rare features have captured the attention of serious collectors. It's not just about the mintage numbers, it's about the survival of coins in pristine or unique condition. A freshly minted coin may seem common when first released, but over time, perfect specimens become harder and harder to find. Circulation quickly dulls surfaces, adds scratches, and diminishes sharp details. For that reason, finding a 2021 Washington quarter in immaculate condition today, especially one with a rare minting feature, is already a challenge despite its recent date. Collectors who recognize the potential of these modern rarities often act quickly, securing examples before they vanish into private collections. The thrill of finding such a coin comes not just from the monetary value, but from knowing you hold a piece of American history that stands out from the billions of coins struck each year. Many of these prized 2021 quarters were discovered not by professional dealers, but by sharp-eyed collectors checking their pocket change. This element of chance makes the hunt all the more exciting. Fascinating to think that a small coin you might spend on a cup of coffee could instead be worth thousands if it has the right characteristics. The Washington quarter has always been more than just pocket change. It is a snapshot of American artistry, history, and craftsmanship. The 2021 issue is no exception. Its combination of a historically meaningful reverse design, potential for mint errors, and scarcity in high grades has cemented its place in the list of modern collectible coins worth chasing. Some collectors specialize in these transitional or program-ending issues, knowing that demand for them often grows as years pass and supplies tighten. The key to identifying a valuable 2021 quarter lies in attention to detail. Checking for mint marks, studying the surfaces under magnification, and understanding grading standards are essential skills. Even without a rare error, a flawless coin certified at the highest mint state grades can command an impressive price in today's collector market. Auctions in recent years have demonstrated that modern coins, when rare in condition or variety, can compete with much older pieces in terms of value. The market for high-grade modern quarters continues to expand as younger collectors enter the hobby and recognize the beauty and rarity of coins from their own lifetime. For the 2021 Washington quarter, this trend is particularly strong because of its significance as a final issue in a celebrated program and as a bridge to the next era of quarter designs. Holding such a coin, one can feel the connection between America's past and its present, between the artistry of coin design and the stories behind each motif, the kind of collectible that appeals not only to hardcore numismatists but also to history buffs and everyday Americans who appreciate meaningful symbols. This coin's beauty, story, and rarity all combine to give it a value far beyond its face. And while the vast majority of 2021 Washington quarters will forever be worth just 25 cents, a very select few have achieved truly remarkable prices. One exceptional example of a United States Washington quarter 2021 dollar, in pristine condition and carrying all the right traits, has sold for an incredible $16,000.